All right, and we are live right now, entering Reese versus Medina in this prelim bout, which I believe is for Jared Cannonier and Borrello. And we're also going to check out the Mayweather fight as well. That's going to be very interesting to see. Let's take a look at it and see if we can find any of the feeds that have this particular fight right now. Let us see real quick. So far, good fight between these two. Good fight overall. With the rest of the card, we're gonna go over all of that. All right, here we go. Ooh, that's a nice head kick right there. Real good head kick. Yeah, the right arm is definitely battered from those kicks on Medina's part. He's not really having any much luck on the defensive side with that. So here we go. Now they're swinging away right now. There it is. Another nice head kick by Reese right there. Michael Bisping says, keep it clinical. I think that's very good advice when you're giving that to somebody that is, let's say, not picking their shots enough, right? What Reese is doing right now, he's doing a very good job of really picking his shots and really not fighting out of his realm of reality, if that makes any sense. Meaning that he's not throwing any bombs. He's not daring him to stand in the middle like Max Holloway and say, "Hey, well, let's just throw down right here and let chance be the overall." Oh, okay. What is this? He's going after him right now. Okay, but then Jack Reese goes and fights back. More leg kicks on his part right here. So very good part on Reese, right? Not only is he throwing those leg kicks down low, he's also throwing them in the middle, which by the way is hitting his arm. But at the same time, it's also making Medina really think twice about what he's going to do. So all right, there we go. That's the end of the round, and we are going to await the third and final round for that one. So, in the meantime, while we wait for the third round, let's go over just what happened tonight in the entire fight card. I got to see the majority of the fights tonight, so I will go over what we had seen. So, the first fight of the night, obviously, Wang Kong, 1 minute and 2 second knockout. That was wow. Okay, this lady right here is going to be a serious contender in the 125 division. Also considering the fact that she beat uh Valentina in a Muay Thai fight, I believe. I don't think it was an MMA fight. I believe it was a Muay Thai fight. So make of that as you will. I think there's going to be a good chance that if Valentina defeats Grasso at some point, or maybe if let's say Valentina meets her on the way down, that's a great possibility of that happening. So, all right, here we go. Third and final round. What is this little hug between them right now? to the body right there. And now changes levels, goes for a takedown attempt, back up against the clinch. Now goes and throws the elbows right here. Yeah, so Reese is doing a really good job of just keeping the distance, keeping the range, and fighting his fight essentially. Whereas with Medina, it is his uh okay, that was a good takedown by Reese right there. Now he's in a half guard position. Jack Reese could stay in a half guard position right here and win this entire fight, based on the fact that he's already done good on his striking, just constantly scoring points right there, with Medina having no answer to it at all. And now here's Reese maintaining a half guard position. What a lot of people don't understand about half guard positions, it's very underrated. Now, in MMA, I'm sorry, in jiu-jitsu, and most grappling tournaments, there's a level of stalemate that you would face from a referee or a sanctioning body that is hosting the event if you were to stay on a half guard position for too long. But in MMA, it works primarily because in MMA, from the half guard position, you can rain punches from there. Whereas when you're just grappling with someone and you stick in a half guard position, there's really no choice but to continue moving on. Ooh, spinning back elbow by Medina, but then he gets taken down as soon as Reese took his back, locked a body lock position, and then took him down straight away. Let's okay, so I was talking about Kong earlier. That was the fight with that lady that had defeated what's her name? Valentina Shevchenko in a Muay Thai fight. So there's going to be a lot to look forward to in her career. 1 minute and 2 second knockout, right? Just 1-2 shot, boom, boom, and then that was it. Jacqueline Vacalante defeats Yozan Nunez with a 3 round decision. Vyashela Borechev takes it and defeats James Lunentop by a decision. And here we are with the Zachary Reese versus Jose Medina fight. After this, it's Dennis Bazooka versus Francis Marshall, lightweight action. And not too soon after, it is the main card, a pretty banging main card, if you ask me, right? Edmund Shabazian, Gerald Mershad, Neil Magny, Michael Morales. That's a good fight right there. You want to talk about gatekeeping the 170 division. That right there is a guy that's undefeated in Michael Morales taking on somebody like Neil Magny, who, yeah, I mean, is literally the gatekeeper of this division, right? Cannon Offley taking on Myron Santos. Real good fight on that one, too. 12-2, one draw by Cannon, and then 14-1 Marion Santos. Robert Valentin taking on Ryan Loader. That's a good one. Middleweight fight. Angela Hill, co-main event, taking on Tabitha Ritchie. I'm going to have Angela Hill on that one. And then Jared Cannonier and Caio Borralho. And I think we're also going to cover Floyd Mayweather's fight tonight. Let me see if I can find coverage of the Floyd Mayweather fight here. Let's see where the Floyd fight is currently at right now. Let's see. They should I don't know if they're going to have the Floyd fight during the main card of the UFC or during, but let's see. So right now, okay, we got 10, we're in the 10th round right now with this guy named Rodriguez versus Vaca. Yeah, so okay. We'll hold off on that for a bit and pay attention to this fight in the UFC. All right, so there we go. That is the end of the third round. Great job on both men. All right, they got a little emo punk alternative rock music playing in between that. Man, the UFC has really gone commercialized over the years, right? It'll be really interesting to see how far and commercialized this sport gets as time permits. So, but I don't know so much about the action lawsuit that's going on right now that could ultimately affect that in some kind of way. So, all right. So here we go. We're going to find out the decision right now, and we're going to go from here. Let's check out what is the official from the official with the whistle. What is the official from the official with the whistle? Here we go. 30-27. Zachary Savage Reese. All right. Well, obviously, Reese proved from round one till then on that, yeah, he deserved to win that fight. And here we go. Let's hear what Reese has to say right now. Yeah, Michael Bisping said that this is a blessing in disguise because he went all 3 rounds. I kind of agree with him on that, taking into consideration that when you are just finishing these guys very easily in the first round, there's going to come a time where you're Francis Ngannou when you run across a prime Stipe and he just schools you for all 5 rounds. And it usually happens to a lot of knockout artists. So, not this time. He's getting a little bit of some cage time, really important. Again, you know what? With the boxers, right? I know a lot of people sort of give boxing a bad name because of the cherry picking that they do, right? For lack of a better term to really coin it. But understand this, right? There's value in going in there, getting rounds in with somebody, right? But I think that MMA is such a real fight that there really is no illusions of saying, okay, well, this is a warm up fight or this and that, right? Like you're either ready to fight or you're not. And then the other guy, you better believe, is ready to win because guess what? In boxing, not everybody is willing to win, right? Journeymen, I'll tell you this, right? Some journeymen make more money in boxing than, let's say, top prospects of boxing. And you're probably wondering, how is that possible? Well, I'll tell you right now. The possibility of that is predicated on the fact that these journeymen, they, let's say, get stopped prematurely in 1 week, and then they could come back the next week because they didn't really take any damage. They can go all 5, 6, 8, 10 rounds or whatever their particular fight is sanctioned at. And then after they're done with that, the next week they can come back and get paid again. It's an ongoing cycle and they're usually used for people that are trying to build prospects of their own. So they pay these journeymen, sometimes even top money, to really do the business. And when I mean do the business, I mean literally like a pro wrestling work of some sort. So, yeah, that's the reality of boxing that a lot of people really don't know or don't understand about the business of the sport. But in MMA, my man, there is no hiding. There is none of that. It is just straight out. Are you ready to fight? And if you're not, then don't get in there until you're ready to fight. So, this is what we got going on. So the next fight we got coming up right now is the prelims, the main event prelims of this portion, which is Francis Marshall, the guy that we're seeing walking into the cage right now, taking on Dennis Bazooka. That's going to be a good one. So bear with me right now. I'm going to mute up my camera as I do some work while I am also covering this fight with you guys. So here we go. All right. We got the feature prelims right now. Those are some really good points that Michael Bisping and uh, Paul Felder were sort of bringing up right now is the recovery mechanisms that they have in modern sports science today, right? Again, it is a common thing that a lot of people do, and they just go redline themselves in every training, but it's not really that conducive, is it? There's some drawbacks to that. There's overtraining, there's injuries that you could cause to yourself as a result of training that way. So, yeah, really, really good points from Michael Bisping and Paul Felder there, especially somebody like Michael Bisping, right? Like I don't know, man. He had the lowest heart resting heart rate out of any athletes in the UFC, if not all of sports, right? And you got to think, man, he's got pretty good cardio, right? But which is the reason why he was able to push a certain kind of pace that he did. But he also had a lot of injuries, so there's a drawback in that. So yeah, a little context on understanding the concept of sports science and recovery and things of that nature. So here we go, round one between Marshall versus Bazooka. Here we go. All right, so yeah, Marshall is definitely just pressing forward straight up right here. He's just going in, shooting in, and boom, here we go. You can tell Marshall is really looking for an aggressive fight right here. Meanwhile, on the Mayweather side, what do we have here? Looks like Mikey Garcia doing an AutoZone commercial of some sort. Okay. All right. So he's got a little two-hand lock going on here. Yeah. After the UFC tonight, I'm really curious to see how this fight with Mayweather and John Gotti is going to go, right? A buddy of mine in London, I think he said something to the effect of Mayweather is going to continuously do these fights until he runs across somebody that ultimately is going to knock him out or make him look very silly. So, and good job on Marshall's body lock control here. Yeah, Bazooka's really trying to drag him down to the ground while he is maintaining his weight on top of him in his body lock position right now. And yeah, he's really doing a good job of putting his weight on him. But Bazooka is doing an even better job of defending this body lock against him while preventing him from tripping him from behind. And yeah, the calmness that he's using in order to negotiate these exchanges is the reason why Bazooka is not taken down completely. And here's the interesting thing about wrestling, right? Like, you got to wonder sometimes what is considered a takedown in MMA versus wrestling. There was that one controversy with Usman and Colby Covington, where Colby Covington was sort of scored as the person to be the first guy to take down Kamaru Usman, but there was a lot of controversy behind it. And even DC came out and said, hey, you know what? Under the wrestling rules, what Colby Covington did here was a legit takedown. So there you have it. Yeah, it's really good control time on Frank Marshall's part right now. He's kept him here for about 4 minutes into this fight already. It's very remarkable. We got going on just some DAZN commercials while we await Floyd's fight. So yeah, it's interesting. This is a DAZN fight taking place in Mexico, but what is the actual promotion that is? It's not PBC, because if this was PBC, you better believe that PBC would throw their whole entire arsenal at it. So I don't know. There we go. Very aggressive display on Frank Marshall's part right here. A low kick by Bazooka Marshall. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see after this first round if Frank Marshall can maintain this pace and this, what I would call a rinse and repeat wrestling style towards Bazooka. And you know what I mean by rinse and repeat. Once you see a guy take one guy down, you know that, ooh, was that a knockdown? It's a good knockdown. Once you see a guy take a guy down, there's consecutive moments in the fights where he's going to do that. He's just going to do that constantly, rinse and repeat. You've seen it out of George St. Pierre. You've seen it out of Cain Velasquez. You've seen it out of Khabib Nurmagomedov. That's an even better example of that. John Jones sometimes does that. He'll do a rinse and repeat, takedown after takedown. Chael Sonnen is a great example of that as well. So what do we got here? Oh, Victor Ortiz seems to be in the undercard of some sort. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So Victor Ortiz is going to be in this card with Floyd Mayweather. What are the chances, huh? How about that? All right. Here we go. Round two. So are you ready? Are you ready? Fight. All right. Here we go. Once again, like I said, look out for the rinse and repeat cycle of Marshall. We'll see. Here we go. Going at him right here. Just he just knocked him down right there. Wow, what a shot. What a shot by Marshall. Yeah, he definitely has to be on survival mode at this point right here. How is he going to respond to this? What sort of grappling exchanges is he going to do different, especially when he's rocked? And especially within the immediate beginning stages of the grappling sequences between them in the first round, it just showed that Marshall was the superior grappler. So he can't answer him in that. He can't answer him on the feet. He's rocked him a few times already. Bazooka has a whole lot to really work on in order to win the next second half of this fight. Yeah, so by this point right here of the second round, 3:30 of the second round, this is literally the halfway point of the fight. And this is the point of the fight where Marshall has to ask himself, what am I going to do? Bazooka has to ask himself, what am I going to do different? Whereas with Marshall, what he's doing right now is just looking to rinse and repeat. He sort of knows and understands where he's able to hit him at this particular stage of the fight. He knows that if he circles this way or if he fakes him out that way, that he's got an opening shot there. But even with the aggressive striking that he does, the main thing that he is looking for is these close range uh exchanges in order to get close in his grappling in his grappling area, which here we go. They're back on the feet. So Bazooka seems like he's going to try switching stances, perhaps to sort of throw Marshall off. And I'll tell you, if he does switch stances, it does sort of affect how he's going to time his shots. In other words, his shots for takedown attempts. Wow, some hard shots right there. All right, so a little stance switching on Marshall's part right here. All right. So far, great job on Marshall, not just on the feet, but obviously with the ground control time that he's gotten on Bazooka. Once again, this is the part of the fight where you really have to observe what Bazooka is going to do and what sort of changes he's going to make as this fight goes on. Oh, okay, that's a nice shot right there. That's what Bazooka needs to work on right there, is more of that. Uh, Yeah, how about that? Edmund Shabazian is the first fight of the main card after this one. That's going to be an exciting one. Shout outs to all the Armenians in LA. 1-2 shot by Marshall right there. Yeah, Bazooka definitely needs to go and let it go, right? In other words, yeah, this is a good fight. Head movement. Oh yeah, man, head movement. Are you talking about the Edmund Shabazian, his salvage coach, the coach of Ronda Rousey? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the actual head movement of this fight going on? But nonetheless, this is a good fight, and yeah, head movement is a common phrase that what's his name likes to say. Edmund Tarvian. Edmund Tarvian is the coach, and Edmund Shabazian is the fighter, and Edmund is a common Armenian name. Shout out to all the Armenians. You know what I mean? We love everybody in this channel. Armenians, the Mexicans, Bloods, Crips, Essays, Asians, Dominicans, white boys, Jamaicans, Latin kings, disciples, vice lords, Haitians, Georgians. There you go. Yeah, Georgians is up in it too. Yeah, they're in a lot of top positions in the world of wrestling, boxing, and MMA, and obviously Marab is one of them. Dana White is obviously not very happy with Marab right now. He said that Marab is an absolute idiot. And by the way, for those of you that are interested in that particular story, I did a live stream on that particular content yesterday about how Dana White thinks a lot of fighters are stupid people, and does it really sort of open the window into what he thinks about these people behind closed doors. Who knows? We never know. But stay tuned and watch the show. Watch the video as we are watching live right now UFC Fight Night. Cannoneer versus BORRALHO. Because obviously Imavov was taken out of this fight, and yeah, Jared Cannoneer needed an opponent, so here we are. But here we are, round 3 between Marshall and Bazooka. Chechnyans. Once Dana calls you an idiot, that's it. That's right. Once Dana calls you an idiot, that's it, right? Especially with Ariel Helwani. Now, Ariel Helwani means well. He's all for the fighters with I guess fighter pay movement and whatnot. He's with all that. But I think the UFC hates him for more reasons than that. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing, right? Uh Marab is a she. Marab. Marab is a what? Marab is Ariel is a Z. Trash. Marab is a what? Marab is a sheesh. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, here's the thing, right? So Ariel now is working with Yahoo Sports. I thought that was an interesting move. I don't know if there's a DAZN component behind that. Perhaps maybe there is. Although I never know what company DAZN is affiliated with, and I wouldn't be surprised if Yahoo has something to do with that because obviously Ariel does shows for DAZN. He does shows for TNT Sports, which is now BT Sports, literally the British broadcasting company. Uh, so why he left MMA fighting was because he wanted more money in a space where they really can't afford to give you all that money in production. You might as well just go and do it yourself. Who the F watches Yahoo? Uh, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, my man. Who the F watches Yahoo? I don't know. That's what I'm saying, right? But here we go. So Baruga. Bazooka. All right. So here's the thing. It's if you're in the MMA content space, I'm telling you right now, guys like us, we're beating guys like Ariel and Jed Meshoub and Luke Thomas and all these other dudes. We're beating them because guess what? Whatever I make on YouTube, who do I gotta pay? Nobody. I don't got to pay anybody. I don't got this sophisticated production team behind me. I'll tell you guys, I got a video on this channel where I shot my tour of Universal Studios. You guys can go check it out. Man, let me tell you, the production that it takes to do a movie is insane, right? But guess what? There's a lot of podcasts out there that do it like that. They got this sophisticated team behind them. They got guys that are setting up the donuts behind the scenes and all that. They got guys that are doing wardrobe. Man, I don't got none of that. A lot of these guys don't got none of that. MMA Joey don't got none of that. MMA Guru doesn't have any of that. Lucas Tracy MMA doesn't have any of that. None of us got any of that. Boxing Ego doesn't have any of that. Ness from the Boxing Voice doesn't have any of that. They pay themselves, homie. So when a company, conglomerate news company sees that they're not really making the kind of money that they want to make out of the MMA space, guess what? Why are they going to have them around and spend all of that luxurious equipment? You know what I'm saying? When they're not going to make the money that they are looking to make out of it. Now, look, if you're a YouTuber, shit, you know, the money that you make out of it is good. Hey, it keeps you out of work. That's for sure, right? But there's more the more you get followers and whatnot, but that's neither here or there. The point is there's no overhead cost for MMA YouTubers like us, but all those guys like Ariel Hawani, Luke Thomas, Brian Campbell, all these MMA media conglomerates, they got a sophisticated team behind them and they got to pay people. But if you do it like this, independent in YouTube, you don't got to pay anybody. So there you have it. All right, so that's the end of the fight. Let's see what's going on in the Floyd Mayweather Gotti part. What is this? Carmel Morton, I think he just scored a knockout. Let's see this real quick while we also await the decision of Frank Marshall versus Bazooka. I believe this Carmel Morton kid, is that him? I'm not sure. It looks like some light-skinned boxer that I think Floyd Mayweather is sort of yeah, promoting right now. Some Mexican fighter that he's fighting. They're fighting down in Mexico City. That's interesting. All right, let's get the decision on this one. 29-28, Bazookia. All right, so Marshall won that one, as he should. He had all the takedowns, had all the ground control time. He absolutely earned the win on that one. So, yeah, he said use the wrestling from the beginning, and says he trains with the best guys in the world at ATT. Okay, so this is an ATT guy. Yeah, he was really going for the finish in this one. You can tell, right? There are some guys that will just hold on to you and won't really go for a finish. With Frank here, he was really going for the finish the whole entire time. The whole entire time, uh, friends, Marshall was going balls to the wall with just throwing bombs after bombs, and it's what it is. Instead of just laying down and trying to score points on the wrestling. Look at that, the view of Vegas. All right. So here we go, main card time. All right, we are now watching the intro cold open to the fight nights. You know what's very underrated are the video preparations that they make for the fight night cards, right? We always watch the countdowns, the embedded shows, all of that. But what is the most underappreciated is the production that they make for the fight night cards, right? And we're seeing this cold open right here. And you know what? They do a good job of that. Sometimes there are uh fight nights where there's an importance and a significance behind these matchups. So they're going to build a video package out of it, sort of like what they would do for, let's say, pay-per-views. But it's really interesting when you do see it in a fight night. And hey, here's the thing that I really like about fight nights, right? Obviously, I've done these live streams for big fights. I've done these for smaller fights. I've done these for prospects such as Callum Walsh. And I got to tell you, these fight nights, even though they're not as highly viewed and not as popular as, let's say, the UFC 305s, 306s, and 309s and 10s of the world, I think this is really the home base of where hardcore fight fans live at. That's how I view a lot of these fight night cards. And that goes for the boxing cards as well. When you're, let's say, dealing with the Dylan White versus Povetkin fight nights. If you guys remember that during the pandemic, if you remember the fight nights where it was a title fight, heavyweight title fight with Molina versus Anthony Joshua. Okay. I believe that one was not a pay per view. It was a fight night, but it was a world title fight. I believe for the IBF championship fight. Ironically enough, guess what belt Anthony Joshua is fighting for come September 14th? it is the IBF title fight. But that is because Usyk had decided he was going to drop the belts and vacate, and as a result, give Anthony Joshua an opportunity to win a title. So, in other words, a nice way of giving him a participation trophy while depriving Tyson Fury an opportunity of saying that he is the undisputed champion of the world ever. Because if he beats him, he can make claim that he's the lineal title holder and he's held all the belts, but in reality, you didn't hold all the belts all at once. And that's the controversy behind it. So, what do you think about that? Let me know your thoughts on that in terms of the state of the heavyweight division in boxing. And speaking of which, let's talk about this while we await the main card fight, right? Between Gerald Mershad and Edmund Shabazian. That's gonna be a banger right there. So before we concentrate on the main card fight, let's talk about John Jones and the state of the heavyweight division, right? A lot of interesting things are happening right now. I have a theory, and I'm going to tell you live right now what that theory is regarding John Jones, Stipe, and Tom Aspinall. And here it is. They wanted to throw John Jones in there initially with Stipe for the simple fact that Stipe has a bigger name, he has a bigger resume, and as a result, they thought that it was just going to translate to bigger numbers. What they found out was that the metrics started showing up for Tom Aspinall, and they realized, you know what? Maybe this English guy, even though he's a little bit quiet, even though he's a little bit reserved, maybe us as the UFC are underestimating the popularity of Tom Aspinall. And as a result, we should scrap this whole Stipe situation and just throw Tom Aspinall in there as a way to surprise John Jones, or maybe ambush him into taking a fight or calling his Punk card. Or John Jones can just retire entirely if he's not getting Stipe Miocic. So let's say whatever injury Stipe is rumored to have is so severe that he's not going to be able to fight John for a long time. John is just going to be forced to vacate, go out on top while leaving questions behind, especially regarding the likes of Tom Aspinall. So that means that there is going to be more ambiguity in the heavyweight division because there's really no linear champion. And then Francis Ngannou, I told you guys my official prediction with Francis Ngannou and Renan Ferreira. I really honestly think that Francis Ngannou is going to lose that fight. And what will that mean for the heavyweight division of the MMA world, period, not just the UFC's architectural roster? Because remember this, if Renan Ferreira beats Francis Ngannou, it's going to cause even more confusion. And what is that going to say for the legacy of Tom Aspinall, given that he's going to be the uncrowned to the transitioning crown undisputed champion without having to fight John Jones while just waiting that whole entire time? And in the debate of whether we should add those fights as title defenses added to his resume, there's going to be a lot of ambiguity in the competitive architecture of the heavyweight division in MMA, period, not just the UFC. And you know what? You want to know what's crazy about that? I sort of like that, because the reality is George St. Pierre said it best, who, by the way, many people will say is the greatest of all time. He said that the greatest of all time doesn't exist because you are only performing at the work that you are asked to do for a specific night. And whatever happens from that, the whole world can only compare and contrast to your performance versus other people's performance, whether that would be in other weight classes or people that are in the same divisions that they are comparing you to, or comparing how you look after you had fought somebody 3 fights ago. And that's the reality of fighting. Ambiguity. So if all of this falls out of place the way that it's supposed to, or the way that it's not supposed to, Francis Ngannou loses, John Jones retires, and maybe even Stipe possibly beating John Jones. We always forget that as a possibility. However, there is no possibility of that because we don't even know if Stipe can get in the cage. And that's what makes this all confusing and ambiguity driven at the same time. So let's read this, right? Aspinall trying to be a heel now. Yes, because what Aspinall had realized is something that I realized going into podcasting, right? Could I just go and sit here and talk about the kicks and the punches all day long? Could I do that? Yeah, of course I can. I train MMA. I've trained with the best guys in the world. I train on a regular day basis. I go and train in multiple fitness gyms to better myself. I understand. Okay. But um I know that it takes a lot more than knowing information to build a solid content and a YouTube channel. You got to be compelling. You have to be thought provoking. You have to be outside of the box. You have to ruffle a few feathers. Maybe lose friends, followers, and gain enemies. And you got to be okay with that. So that's the reality of fight sports. That's the reality of promoting yourself. That's the reality of trying to get out there and garner views. Because if you're just plain and you're just like everybody else, then you're giving other people a reason to swipe to the right or left and go watch somebody else rather than watch you. So I try to be different than other podcasters in the MMA space. I talk about California gang and street politics on top of geopolitics while trying to insert my own personal knowledge through the military, through college, through whatever means of experience that I could back up in conveying a story. And that's what I do different than the other channels that are just kicks and the punches. So, in other words, here's another thing that I want you to understand too, right? Tom Aspinall was a guy that just sort of played the plain Jane role. And as a result, what did it get him? It got him nothing but disrespect from John Jones. John Jones did not want to look Tom Aspinall's way. You want to know why? Because Tom Aspinall did not play that loudmouth British villain that we needed him to be. Man, watch Creed with Tony Bellew and Michael B. Jordan. That right there is the quintessential British bad guy that you need to be in the fight game. Tom Aspinall is not that guy. Are there a lot of guys where he's from that are like that? Yes. Here's the problem. Tom Aspinall is too humble for his own good. And why do I say that? Look, the guy's 6'5". He's highly trained. He's great at jiu-jitsu. He's got great footwork, literally the speed of a man the size of George St. Pierre, and arguably fights like him too. Nobody's gonna mess with him in England, not in a street fight. So therefore, he sort of, for better or worse, creates how do I say this? More of a humility for himself, right? Because Tom Aspinall knows that he's a badass and that a lot of these British guys that are in his section know that he's a badass and not to be messed with. He has a certain humility in him that unfortunately makes him boring. Conor McGregor, you know why he's interesting? Because he's a 5'7", 5'8" Irish guy, small guy that got picked on when he was a kid and then grew up and learned a few martial arts skills and then became one of the best to ever do it. So that's, yes, that's what you got to do, my man. You got to ruffle a few feathers. And Tom Aspinall being a heel, as you said, is great. He's trolling Jones and Stipe as he should, as he should. And Ngannou never lost the belt, yes. And as a result of that, if Renan Ferreira beats him, it creates a real confusion in the heavyweight division. And then on top of that, we would just have to crown Renan Ferreira as the best heavyweight of all time by default of beating him. And yes, he is the real undisputed. So the fight between Ngannou and Renan Ferreira is the real undisputed best heavyweight title in the world, regardless of promotion. And once again, Tom Aspinall, you're doing the right thing. This is what you got to do. You got to go ruffle a few feathers. It's what I did. I ruffled a few feathers in the world of YouTube and the space of combat sports. Now, look at Tyann Booth. Man, I grew up, well, what am I saying? The guy is like literally only 5 years older than me, but I watch a lot of Tyann Booth's content. I watched this fight with Eubank. I've seen many interesting interactions with him and Coogan in the IFL. And now all of a sudden, me and him are getting into it online. And I'm like, wow. But you know what? That's what you got to do. You're going to have to ruffle a few feathers, and not everyone is going to like you, and that's what it is. So here we are, back to the fight with round one of Edmund Shabazian and Gerald Mershad, sort of in the feeling out process right now. There's Edmund Shabazian sort of playing the Kamzat gameplay. And what do I mean by that exactly? He's sort of walking him down, waiting for him to sort of put his chin down, his arm down in order to catch him with something. Oh, okay. So we're now in the main event of Floyd Mayweather and John Gotti right now, guys. So for anybody that's tapping in, let me know if you guys are tapping into both fights or just one of the fights. But obviously, the thumbnail that I have is the UFC, because here's the thing: the UFC tonight is the most dominant fight, even with Floyd Mayweather fighting. And I'm very surprised with the lack of promotion that was put into this particular fight, and really the lack of effort. Perhaps maybe the cartel had a favor with the Gottis, and they were like, hey, yeah, you know what? We'll do a match with you and Floyd. Yeah. And then they just paid them a fixed price to show up, and it was for the cartel's own entertainment of some sort. I don't know. But obviously, I'm just speculating. I'm a podcaster and entertainer. I mean no I mean no allegations with these speculations or banter at all. Okay, so either way, very methodical matchup between Mershad and Sabazian right now. Sabazian is doing a very good job of walking him down, though. And you know what? Doesn't Mershad look like Usyk? Tell me I'm tripping. Tell me Gerald don't look like Usyk. Tell me he don't look like Usyk as you're watching him fight right now. Look at him, Usyk. He's got the Usyk mustache. He even has a little Usyk haircut and all. Look at little Usyk right there. Usyk look-alike. Gerald Usyk Mershad. There you go. 149, 147. Oh wait, no, they're just showing highlights of the old fight with Mayweather. So right now they're showing the highlights of the fight from last time, because this is a rematch, guys. with Mayweather and John Gotti the third. His father, John Gotti the third, is the son of John Gotti, and the grandson, John Gotti the third, is the one fighting Floyd. He's an MMA fighter, but he got an opportunity to box Floyd early. So there it is. So hopefully, I hope this doesn't derail John Gotti the third's overall MMA career that he's trying to pursue, right? Because I know that boxing Floyd is a great opportunity, and if you're a social media influencer or a big name behind you of any kind, you got to take advantage of that real quick, right? Because I mean, hey, look, Floyd Mayweather fights, I guess, are big money, right? But it's an exhibition fight. There's not really a lot at stake behind it. So we don't know, other than the fact that Floyd has to obviously defend himself from getting knocked out. Oh, wait, no, this is Victor Ortiz. Sorry. So we got to wait for, yeah, it's Victor Ortiz first, and then, yeah. But yeah, shout out to Savachi Financial. That's what it is, guys. You got to ruffle a few feathers. You got to remember this, right? There's a lot of people out there that are trying to fight. There's also a lot of people out there that are not only trying to fight, but are also really good. So, because there's a lot of people that are really good, how do you fill up that space to give anybody a shot at the UFC or a shot at being signed? Right? How do you negotiate and organize that type of process? Well, once again, it's really not about meritocracy, is it? By the end of the day, it is meritocracy disguised behind show business. Okay, so remember that fighting sport is meritocracy disguised for entertainment. So the next time you complain about, oh, well, why did this guy get this title shot or this and that? Let me tell you something, guys. It took Bilal Muhammad, a Palestinian and Israeli conflict, in order for him to garner attention to a title shot. Put that in perspective. It took a major Israeli Palestinian conflict for Bilal Muhammad to get noticed for a title shot. Because you can argue and say, well, he doesn't have star quality or this. I tell you what, Bilal Muhammad is really coming around as well with the same language that we're talking about right here with what Savachi Financial said earlier with Tom Aspinall. This one. Tom Aspinall trying to be a heel now. I would argue Bilal Muhammad is also trying to do that, and with good reason. Because look, here's something you got to understand, guys, right? I'm not saying that the Muslims are perceived as the bad guys, but if you're not a Muslim, you're not going to see somebody like Khabib or Islam as your hero, right? You're going to see them as an adversarial force, especially if, let's say, you're from Ireland, you're from the UK, and let's say those UK and Irish guys fight the Dagestanis, then yeah, you're going to see them as an adversarial symbol of some sort, right? So, Bilal Muhammad, look, Muslim fans in MMA are a minority. The majority of people that watch MMA are, what's the demographic here? 18 to 45 aged white guys, right? That's the majority of people that are UFC fans. I'm not talking about people like myself. I'm not talking about people like my friends. Oh, look at Edmund Shabazian. He's finishing Gerald Mershad right here. I think he's done right here. He is done. Wow, he's throwing some bombs on him right now. And okay, yeah, Mershad is doing quite a good job of surviving, but oh, this is very close to being stopped right here. Wow. Wow. Okay, so now he is transitioning on him. Wow, Gerald Mershad did a very good job of really defending these strikes and preventing Shabazian from finishing him. He really made Shabazian work for this right here. He really did. Right? He did not make this easy for Shabazian by a long shot. Right? Like some guys would have gone out after these shots that Mershad has taken. And now the effects, of course, are showing. He got him in a full mount position right now. Oh, but look at Mershad still going and attempting some submission attempts. Look at this. Is he going for oh, look at this. Look at this. What is Gerald going for here? Okay, yeah, he's very efficient off his back right here. Wow. All right, man. Gerald Mershad did a very good job of surviving that onslaught right there. So, okay. So now that that is clear, what I was saying was that Bilal Muhammad has to realize that he has to be the heel because Muslims are the minority in the fan base. Now, can we grow? Yes. If they continuously do more shows in the Middle East and this and that, maybe we can grow as a fan base. But for right now, those white males in that particular age demographics that I had mentioned, a lot of them come from Western countries. A lot of them come from this online Call of Duty, GTA culture where you can say whatever you want, drop the N bombs at a moment's notice just to try and create some sort of shock value type of thing. But that's the type of culture that is prevalent in the MMA space. But of course, that's why I try to offer a different flavor to that particular culture that we have just mentioned right now. So there it is. It's a takedown by Edmund Shabazian right here. Oh, wow. Gerald Mershad took down Edmund Shabazian. And look at this. He's going for an arm triangle. Oh, wow. He's got it. It's getting tight. Can you believe this? Oh, my God. He tapped. Oh, my goodness. Gerald Mershad. Gerald Mershad got the tap. That was amazing. That was an amazing comeback. That right there has to be the fight of the night. Forget that. That has to be the submission of the night. If there are no submissions by the rest of the night, boy, let me tell you. And right now, Victor Ortiz is taking on this guy named Carrera. So let's see how this goes. Wow, that was an amazing fight, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing fight. Look, Edmund Shabazian was beating him to a pulp, guys. And out of nowhere, he goes and pulls this off. Look at this blazing knockout moment. You got that right. Wow, look at this. Look at this. He was getting beat up, and then out of nowhere, look at this Usyk lookalike. Again, tell me Gerald Mershad doesn't look like Usyk. He definitely looks like Usyk. Look at the mustache. Look at the haircut. I don't know if that's the look that he was going for, but you know what? He did some Usyk things right here. Okay, because this is what Usyk does. He could be getting beat at a fight and then just come back out of nowhere. Look at this Usyk lookalike. Gerald the Usyk lookalike Mershad. All right, all right. Good job. Good shot. Good job, man. What an amazing fight that was. You see, this right here, oh, excuse me. This right here is the ultimate pleasure of being a hardcore fan, right? Obviously, these are the fights that are going to be overlooked and that many observers are just not really going to think about. But if you tap in and you watch some of these fights, especially with a great fight, by the way, a 50-50 fight that I had going into this with Mershad and Shabazian. It was a 50-50 fight going in off top. And it showed, the entire fight showed why it was a 50-50 fight, the way they were going at it, the way that it ended, and the result. So, and you got to witness that as a hardcore observer, a hardcore fan. Because the reality is, a lot of the casuals are just going to be watching this through a highlight rather than seeing it live and being very surprised at the moment of seeing Mershad get beat up and then out of nowhere coming back. He now has the most finishes in middleweight history. Let's mute up and listen to this real quick while Victor Ortiz and the Correa fight is going on right now. He said the plan was to take down Edmund Shabazian, and yeah, it definitely was. Oh, December 14th is in Tampa. Okay. So there's, okay, because you know what? I was wondering if the UFC's December card was going to be on the 7th or if it was going to be on the 14th. And I was debating on that, right? So I think he now has confirmed to me, Gerald Mershad, that the December 14th card is going to be a Tampa card. Because for a long time, I thought that's when UFC 310 was going to be. Right? I believe, yeah, UFC 310 is going to be the yeah, and then how about this Salt Lake City with Khalil Roundtree taking on Alex Pereira? Guys, I made a video on that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but also check out that video that I made with Khalil Roundtree and Alex Pereira explaining why this fight is happening. Well, the reason for that fight happening is because it's just the overall scheduling conflict of interest with the UFC. But I go into full details on that. If you want more details on it, go watch that video, like and subscribe this one, and let's stay tuned and watch Neil Magny coming up right now while we are witnessing Ortiz fighting a Mexican gentleman named Correa in Mexico, mind you. So yeah, so Neil Magny is a real gatekeeper test, right? And taking on somebody who's 16-0 like Michael Morales, that's that's a good, this is a good matchup. Again, a classic matchup with prospect versus gatekeeper. This is what we have, guys. Prospect versus gatekeeper. So all right, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for the Floyd fight, but I also really, more importantly, can't wait for the fight with Cannonier and BORRALHO. I would have really wanted to see Imavov, obviously. That would have seemed like the go-to fight, but hey, unfortunately, circumstances play out the way that they do. So, once again, an interesting night of fights. All right. For those of you that are watching, I'm sorry, listening to this on audio, you're just literally hearing me go through my garage while I'm walking up to my office room. Yeah, so we're just awaiting the UFC right now while the Ortiz fight is going on in the Floyd Mayweather card. Really interesting and yet bizarre card at the same time as well. But once again, this right here is one of the joys of being a hardcore fan because look, that Gerald Mershad fight, I can't get over really talking about that, guys, and with good reason. Because look, understand this, right? Gerald Mershad was getting his butt whooped up and down that cage. We thought it was over for him. He held on. He did a very good job of preventing Shabazian from posturing up. And as a result, it gave him a fighting chance to get off his back, get up, and get Shabazian down, only to arm triangle him in a surprising comeback. So I can't say enough good things about Gerald Mershad and his performance. And not only that, I got to tell you guys, this makes the Kamzat win look a lot better. It's really looking a whole lot better and better and better and better as the days go on. Remember that. Kamzat is Kamzat for a reason, guys. Gerald Mershad tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Gerald Mershad. I present to you Gerald Mershad. Why? Because who beats Gerald Mershad? I don't know. Guys like Kamzat? Huh. Gerald Mershad's pretty good, isn't he? Look what he did tonight. He's pretty good. When you say, right or wrong, is he good? I think he's excellent. He's durable. Not only is he durable, he's very patient, but he's also very crafty. And Kamzat beat him. So if anybody is ever doubting Kamzat at the middleweight division, please understand the worth of Gerald Mershad. And tonight, these are one of those nights that Gerald Mershad proved why he is one of the best in the world and why that Kamzat win is going to age beautifully as it's aging right now. Okay? So shout out to Gerald Mershad, but more importantly, shout outs to Kamzat Shamayev for doing the damn thing and beating one of the best guys in the world as he continuously does over and over and over and over and over again. So we're just awaiting the Neil Magny Morales fight right now while we are watching Ortiz and Korea. Hold on just a second. All right, I'm back. All right. So what do we got right here? Floyd putting on some silver. Oh wait, no, that's not Floyd. Who is that? Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to be a while for this Floyd Mayweather fight. But that's all right because you know what? The longer you stay, the more views you get and why not? It's a good way to build a channel. So don't forget to like and subscribe as we cover combat sports in its entirety. So right now, Ortiz doesn't look too bad, right? He's looking the way that he's supposed to, obviously. Okay, so now we're back into the Morales fight right now with Neil Magny and Morales. Ooh, this fight right here, I really like this fight. 37-25, 16-0 Morales. Wow. All right, here we go. Neil Magny being introduced. The Haitian sensation. What a name. What a name. All right, here we go. Neil Magny versus Morales. 16-0. It's quite an exciting fight right here. Little low kick by Morales right there. Neil Magny reciprocates it right back with a front kick of his own. Only 25 years old at 16-0. Now, this right here is the ultimate tester for a 25-year-old that's 16-0. Right? Veteran Neil Magny. Not only is he a veteran of the UFC and MMA in general, but a veteran in real life as a former US Army soldier in Neil Magny, and now fighting a 16-0 25-year-old kid prospect as the gatekeeper of this division. You got to hand it to him. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So let's see here. There we go. All right. So a little clinching going on in the part of Ortiz right there. Here's a takedown attempt by Magdi right here. This is interesting. Okay. Oh wow. Michael Bisping mentions Leon Edwards getting spiked on his head. I don't know, man. I would take that as a diss if I was Leon Edwards, bro. That's Magdi's journeyman hugging for dear. You don't cover all combat sports. Magdi changed his look. Magdi's a journeyman hugging for dear life. Well, I tell you what, it is quite a good strategy in the part of Magdi right now being able to do that, only because what he's doing is sort of using his weight, his body, and using his leverage within these grappling exchanges in order to neutralize Morales down into the ground. And not only that, really just build up his lactic acid in ways that would affect, watch, his striking later on. That's why a lot of these boxing and kickboxing guys sometimes will criticize an MMA fighter for the way that they strike. But you got to understand the way that MMA fighters strike is predicated on the amount of grappling that they are experiencing in these exchanges. Oh, wow. But look at Morales. He is rock Magdi right now. Look at this. Wow, he's looking to finish him right now. A sudden turn of events. That's why you got to watch out for these young prospects that have great finishing capabilities. And look at this. What is Morales going to do in this position right here in order to either finish the fight or build some sort of momentum off of it? I tell you what, this right here, this position where you sort of do ground and pound drills with the grappling bags in the gym, this is where it really comes handy, is being able to finish right here and then just giving it your all. Wow. He's got him in full mount out of nowhere. I didn't even realize, just out of no. Okay, now he's got his back. He's got his back. He could have a ground and pound position here. He's going to finish him. He finished him. He finished him with just 21 seconds left in the second round. Wow. 12th career knockout by Morales. Yeah, I got to say, I'm not surprised that he finished him off, man. This is one of those situations where Neil Magny is a gatekeeper in Savachi Financial's words right here, a journeyman. Some can argue that's a fact. Some will say that's just the nature of MMA. Uh, Either way you look at it, he was the gatekeeper tonight, and Morales was the man on top. Look at this spinning back elbow. He surprises him with. I'm telling you, it's these creative young fighters that you got to watch out for with the creative attacks that they come up with. That's the new evolution of the game, is being able to come up with these creative attacks. If you notice, he made Magdi walk in to that spinning elbow. And that spinning elbow right there is just a brand of creativity that a lot of these young fighters have. And in order for you to adapt to this generation of fighters, you got to be able to adapt that. Uh, he said that he passed the torch. Yup. Because from here on, Morales has an opportunity with having, let's say, historic rivalries within the top 10, maybe even top 5, as he's climbing into a position of title contention. But I don't know how you're going to do that with the likes of Kamzat. Well, Kamzat's not really at 170 anymore, right? Although he can be if he wants. Um, Shafkat obviously is a big name in that particular weight class right now. Colby is a squatter in those terms. Let's see, what is the next fight coming up? I think we have one more boxing fight before Floyd. Floyd right now is walking into the arena with his entourage and some dudes that look like they're 6'10", some bodyguards, and some, yeah, zero versus zero. Shavkat versus Morales. Oh, okay. You meant undefeated versus undefeated. Shavkat versus Morales. Shavkat may get Bilal in 310. Yeah, I think that's the official word that they may be talking about is Bilal and Shavkat next. So yeah, Morales still has a way to go, and he's gonna have to wait for a minute. Um, yeah, he's gonna be waiting for a minute. Okay, so we're in the main card right now. What is this? Alan Picasio and Hazat Hovasian. Okay, this guy's definitely an Armenian. What's up with Armenians? They're all fighting tonight. Floyd is fighting in Mexico. This is in Mexico. Okay. Yeah, it's just commercial on the side of Floyd. What did he say here? Floyd be having some transformer ass ninjas for real, man. But you know what? Floyd gets dudes that are huge in size, and with 50 Cent, what he does is he hires trained military guys, Navy SEALs, Marines, Army Rangers. That's the type of security that's around 50 Cent, right? Like that's, yeah. It's kind of levels of security. Floyd just gets dudes that are oversized thugs, right? Um, I don't necessarily know if they have any formal fight training, although there's a few of them that I guess, had MMA fights or trained MMA at least. I don't know, but um, Floyd uh, is not. It's not the same security as 50 Cent. Yeah, I'm really affirmative of that. 50 Cent has Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, Marines, former Marines as his security team. And he wants that for a reason because what you get out of a military force, you get guys that know how to operate in their security needs security. Yes. Um how do I explain that? But yes, I know what, if you know, you know. Yeah. Their security needs security. If you know, you know. I don't want to say too much on that, but yeah, if you know, you know. Uh uh Jaw Rule ain't that heavy. 50 needs to chill. You know what I like about 50? He's not about chill, man. He's all about revenge. Cuz you know what? I'm the same way. If we got beef and I don't like you and I'm going to roll up on you, bro, listen, I'm going to destroy you in every sense of the word. In every sense of its possibility, physically, mentally, spiritually, maybe even financially, anything that I can do. Look, what is the point of being enemies with somebody if you can't full out go on and destroy them? right? 50 Cent, he has that same mentality. Some people have a different mentality, which is okay. They have a let bygones be bygones type of scenario where, like, you know what? I'm going to let that one go. I'm going to let that slide. But you know what? Uh, if you're from out here in the West Coast, man, you know that's unheard of. You know that Coolio song, Gangster's Paradise, you know how he conveys the message in that? He basically says, you know, you be treated like a punk. You know, that's unheard of. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reality of the situation. 50 Cent is like that. Ain't ish a slide. No, never. You know, and you know what? If you're a West Coast dude, you understand that mentality. And you know, AD, the Crip podcaster that used to be on No Jumper, he said that 50 Cent is like, yo, 50 is like a West Coast, you know, ninja. And the reason why he said that is because 50 Cent is a type of dude that if he wants revenge upon you, he's going to go all out. And I just urge you to go look up. Look, man, listen. 50 Cent is a dude to be respected. You know, all salutes to him and his endeavors and the memories he's helped us build when we were teenagers at the time, right? Because obviously he came out in the early to mid 2000s. He was big during that time. But yeah, he never lets anything slide. He's vengeful. He never forgets and he'll make sure that you never forget. So, uh, and don't forget to like and subscribe as we are covering the fights. Not only the UFC tonight, but also the Floyd Mayweather fight. Right now, it is going to be the co main event on the Floyd Mayweather side while we are witnessing uh, Ken Offley of Australia, 12-2 with one draw. Next, versus Myron Santos. And we got more UFC fights, by the way. So this is going to be very interesting. All right. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're gonna have a good fight ahead of us. I think this is a good this is a 50-50 fight with these two guys, right? If you could just look at their record, uh Cannon Offley is 12-2 with one draw. Marion Santos, this guy right here is 14-1, right? I mean, this right here is 50-50 at its best right here. Look at this. This is a 50-50 fight. No doubt about it. No doubt about that this is a 50-50 fight that we got coming up next right here. Marion Santos. Okay, so he's got the reach. Cannon off. He looks like one of those really strong, stocky dudes. They got a lot of dudes like that uh in Australia. I think because they have a culture of rugby that they got a lot of dudes that are just really buff, right? Or maybe they just eat a lot of meat down in Australia. I don't know. But I tell you what, Australia, you got to be a tough dude to live down in Australia, right? Think about the type of tough people that live down there. Also, looking at the fact that you have to live in an area that is surrounded by treacherous nature. In other words, you're surrounded by unforgiving desert. Not only that, unforgiving inhabitants of animals that live down there that would eat you at any moment's notice. And then on top of that, you look at the human population, right? You have, okay, white Aussies are essentially white British convicts that were exiled into that land because Great Britain didn't want them, right? And then you add on the fact that it has a Lebanese population, uh, Samoan and a Tongan islander population. On top of that, you got Chinese triads down there. On top of that, you got the Lebanese mob down there. On top of that, you got biker gangs mixed with Lebanese and Samoan guys. All of that. And then on top of that, you got African gangs. So that is the type of world that you have in Australia on top of the treacherous nature that you are living under. So you have to be a really tough guy to live in Australia on top of the fact that you live in a very treacherous land that could really turn on you at any time by its nature alone and the inhabitants that are around it. So, all right. Oh, sorry. Mike there. Mike check 1 2 1 2. Is that mic check 1 2 1 2? Okay, that's good. All right. We got the mic on. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. We are good. Okay, so this right here is an Ultimate Fighter contracted fight from what I believe right now. Yeah, this is a contract fight for the finals. All right. So I guess that's what we have going on with this one is a finals. Okay, so they're doing a little piece on his life and whatnot. Okay. All right. John Gotti looks like he's already walked into the building. I'm really curious to see how that one's gonna go, the John Gotti fight, because Floyd, you know what? He's a technician, he will always be, but I don't know, man. At some point, this is gonna catch up to you where these guys are gonna catch you or you're gonna be in the wrong fight, and then on top of that, you're probably not training for it properly. I don't know, man. I can't picture Floyd actually going in there, putting in work, I suppose, right? You know, for this particular fight. I don't know how motivated he would be for something like this. Uh, if he would even be motivated at all. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's just a lot of a lot of things I would be very skeptical about, right? Let's just say that if I was Floyd's manager, but again, maybe if you're his manager, one of the incentives is a certain value that is just hard to come by. I don't know. In the meantime, hold on just real quickly. All right, sorry there, guys. Just trying to get a drink while we are on live stream. But since we got some people in here, let's not waste time and get right to it with Cannon versus Santos. This is an Ultimate Fighter finale, guys. Let's do it. A tough Ultimate Fighter finale. So literally Australia versus Brazil. Okay, and they are back on commercial. And right now on the Floyd Mayweather side, they are just showing uh what appears to be highlights of Floyd Mayweather back in the day. Yeah, that's all that they are showing is just Floyd Mayweather back in the day with Oscar De La Hoya, out of all people. Showing the Oscar De La Hoya fight. And on the ESPN side, you know what I notice is the commercial break. It says we'll be right back, and it's just nothing but like an ASMR. I don't know how you say it. It's literally just like random sounds that you hear, right? It's just the random sounds of morning time at an ESPN office outside, right? I just thought it was I guess quite scenic and relaxing at the same time in a weird way. It's kind of relaxing to hear, like the sounds of the city. Like you are now relaxing to the sounds of the city, right? The commercial will be right back. That's sort of what you notice, you know. So yeah, just a real interesting observation on that one. So what's going on now? We are going to see the co-main event for the Floyd Mayweather fight, which I believe is with some Italian gentleman fighting a Mexican, and then obviously Floyd and John Gotti the third afterwards. All right, Haters World Uncensored. If you're real, you don't have to say you're real stuff. Haha, that's the interesting title for a live stream that he has going on. The names that Floyd vanquished over the years. Those are some interesting names, right? So what do we got here? Andre Berto. You could add McGregor into that. Pacquiao, Maidana, Alvarez, Guerrero, Cotto, Ortiz, Mosley, Marquez, Ricky Hatton, and Oscar De La Hoya. It's quite a resume. Champion Slayer, they call Floyd. Yeah, man, Floyd is a champ, bro. You know, Floyd is a champ, irregardless of how you don't like the fact that he cherry picked them or this and that, guys. I got to tell you, that's really how boxing goes, man. You know, it's a tradition that a lot of boxers know how to do. And if you're in the business, like his dad was, and your son's going to be up in it, you know you're going to politic your way into helping them. So that's why Floyd was able to have the career that he did. So yeah, let's go. We are about to go with the Off Lee versus Santos fight. Here we go. All right. Myron, the legend. I like it. He's already calling himself the legend. when he's still a rookie. I like it. I like the confidence in someone like that that will just flat out say, "Yeah, I'm a legend." All right, I'm gonna have the camera on for the reaction to the fights. So we're gonna be locked in. All right, here we go. Chris Tione, Ultimate Fighter finale. Here we go, guys. All right, here we go. Round one. While we are watching Floyd Mayweather highlights in the side. Here we go. A little overhand right by Santos there. 1-2 by Offley. High knee right Santos. Body lock by Offley. Really using his upper body strength, which again, what a lot of Aussies are known for due to a lot of their rugby background. I don't know if this gentleman has a rugby background in any way, but I wouldn't be surprised, right? Just really built like, a strong little tank or whatnot. But Australia also has a strong wrestling background as well. Oh, it's a good right hand right there. Even Robert Whitaker has some experience on the national level with their wrestling team. All right, here we go. Well, wow, they got a Spanish speaking. Obviously, they're going to have a Spanish speaking ring announcer. Yeah, they're in Mexico. But it's just a different setting for Floyd Mayweather, right? It was never really a setting that he did when he was fighting in his prime. He always fought in Vegas. He never fought in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or, let's say, Germany or what else is a big boxing hotbed? England. He said that he always wanted to fight in England. He never did. He never was able to. Uh, he was just too comfortable with Vegas, and that was just that, right? That he was just a Vegas fighter by the end of the day, and really sort of a lack of trying to prove himself. So a lack of trying to prove himself on the international level, because can you really call yourself an international fighter if you never really fought internationally? And by the way, the co-main event for the Floyd card is about to start. We got a walkout going on right now. Yeah, good front kick by Santos right here. Good little double jab by Santos here. Nice leg kick by Santos. Yeah, really calm approach by two guys right here. Again, real seasoned pros, right? These are not inexperienced amateurs jumping into pros, right? These guys are seasoned pros with really good records. Ooh, and a really good low kick right there. Front kick by Santos. Nice one. I think he's really favoring that leg right there. That really damaged him right there. Oh, nice. Nice jab right there. Nice front kick by Santos. Oh, nice jumping kick right there. Ooh, awfully comes back with an overhand right on that one. Yeah, his leg, he's really favoring that right there. The left leg, Santos definitely needs to target a whole lot more, right? And I think it's really going to pay some dividends if he does, and he it has already. It has already, man. It's not looking too good for homie there. Um, oh, man, so Riyadh season no Che. That's what I'm talking about. That's Yeah, honestly, that would have been a lot better if it was a Conor McGregor card. It seems a little bit subpar because it's just Sean O'Malley and Marab. And to be honest with you, I don't know where the casual excitement is going to come from with a fight like that. But the Saudis are willing to fund it as sort of an experiment. So we will see. Man, he got a little mariachi entrance right here as we are witnessing Santos versus Offley. There it is with another jumping kick by Santos, a Taekwondo style kick, by the way. By the way, shout out to my domestic Taekwondo championship right here that I won when I was like probably I don't know, like 12 years old or something like that. It's a WWE belt that I got right here. So WWE belt was a little setting. Oh wow, he just knocked him out. Myron Santos is now the tough champion. Really good shot right there. That was really good. Let's see that in replay right there. Let's take a look at the replay on that one. Yeah, definitely very calm under pressure for sure. Oh wow. Uh, Michael Bisping compares him to Anderson Silva. Very interesting comparison by Michael Bisping there. Anderson Silva. I would say so. Yeah, he does have a very dynamic striking. Look at this. Oh wow. Yeah, they went like sort of Carlos Condit versus Dan Hardy style. If you guys remember the knockout with Dan Hardy and Carlos Condit, it sort of looks like that. Next is Robert Valentin and Ryan Loader is the next fight. All right. So congratulations to Myron Santos. I will be back with the camera. Obviously, I'm still going to be on. I'm just going to do the audio portion right now. Man, yeah, that was a crazy knockout, bro. That's what I'm talking about, man. Crazy knockout. Once again, the most exciting sport in the world, right? You can't never replace it, right? There is no exciting sport than MMA. There's no doubt about it. There is no exciting sport than MMA. So hopefully this match gets done quickly, and then Floyd comes right on, uh, because we still have a few fights to go through. We got like 3 fights left in the UFC tonight, and then 2 fights left with Floyd as the main event for the boxing card in Mexico. It's great, man. Just being present in every fight. It's amazing. Amazing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be here to watch these fights with you guys, man. Really is. Don't forget to like and subscribe as we cover all the fights and all the coverage for the biggest circus and for the most serious fights. We do it all over here. All right, there it is. Jimmy Lennon is going to announce. On the legend, Santos. All right, there it is, man. Santos, the tough champion. All right, we're gonna listen into his speech, and then we'll go from here. All right, back, guys. Here we go. He said, "I want to be a champion just like you. You are the ultimate fighter," as he is hinting at Michael Bisping. He said, "But one day I'm going to be the UFC featherweight champion." Yeah, Myron Santos. Shout outs to Myron Santos, man. Shout out to Myron Santos for getting it. A great way to start off your career. Although I gotta wonder, right, if the Ultimate Fighter is the way to go, but nah, you never know, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look at this. My Conor McGregor versus Donald Trump video is up to 2.4K right now, and not bad for a small channel, guys. You know what I mean? I am a small channel here, just trying to make it and trying to really make it big. So I urge you guys to help like and subscribe and help me get to the top as I cover some of the most exciting fights in the world of combat sports, while giving you a perspective and different outlooks and different life lessons and geopolitical conversations that come with this particular MMA content. So, all right, the main event, the co-main event of the Floyd fight has now been announced. All right. Shout outs to the 400 returning viewers that come and tap into my channel. I'm just looking at my YouTube analytics right here. Wanted to give everybody a shout out for all the love around the world that is helping my channel grow in this time frame right now. And shout out to City Projects. He shouts me out in his shows. Zayn Musa Boxing. He shouts me out in his shows. Jesse on Fire. If you guys watch any of his content, he shouts me out on his shows. So here we go. The co-main event in the Floyd Mayweather fight is about to start right now, and the third to the last fight in the UFC is about to start. Here we go. Co-main event for the Floyd Mayweather card. All right. Hmm. Oh snap! Okay, that's an Ultimate Fighter fight also. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so these are two Ultimate Fighter fights. Uh, Angela Hill as the co-main event, and then the main event. Got it. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, got it sorted out now. All right, Armenian versus Mexico. The AMSR of the ESPN commercial once again. Here we go. Nice inside game by Picasso right here. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely going for it right here. Oh wow, look at this. The way that they're hyping up the September 14th card. Dana said you'll never see anything like this ever again in your life. Wow. That's a bold promise to make right there. All right. UFC 306. It's a Riyadh season. It as a UFC's Noche Mexican Independence Day card at the same time. Very interesting multicultural concept. Would you say, like, it's a Saudi-owned Mexican Independence Day, which yeah, right, sorry about that. My, feed is, uh, going a little, slow right now. Hold on, sorry, just a second. Bear with me. Mm, he said there's nothing more calmer than nature. He's one of those dudes, like, one of those super nature type of dudes, you know what I mean? Like but you know what? You do get a certain great life experience, I suppose, um, training out in Thailand and whatnot, and then just yeah. Oh, I just gotta reset this real quick. Hold on. Reset this stream. No, not my stream, but the stream that is facilitating me being able